By the time this video comes out, the next episode for the 1,000-Year Blood War will already be out, but for the past week since this episode came out, the first episode for the 1,000-Year Blood War, something very rare that happens nowadays has been occurring for me, where I'm constantly thinking about a particular show, and really only specifically that particular show. This has happened a couple of times before in the past with a couple of other shows, but it's been very rare for that to happen nowadays. Like, even when I was talking about Attack on Titan and reviewing that show, that only happened very briefly, but that was only as I was watching the show, and I was able to luckily binge watch through most of the episodes and then get into preparation for season 4. And I haven't even started season 4, so that's definitely something that's going to happen in the near future. It's just, I haven't even gotten around to even watching the first episode of the 4th season yet, and, you know, judging by the fact that they keep fucking pausing the show in order to take breaks because MAPPA is severely overworked with a whole bunch of projects that they have, who knows when that's going to happen. But, you know, that only happened very briefly with Attack on Titan. For Bleach, just for some reason, the same thing has been happening with the 1,000-Year Blood War, and I think I know the reason why as to why that's the case. It's because the first episode back for the Bleach anime was literally fucking perfect. Like, the episode literally just did everything that it needed to do, and it did so on point. It introduced us back to the Bleach anime. It introduces back the Quincy's are going to be around, specifically Yuha, who's going to be the main villain for the 1,000-Year Blood War. It introduces us back to the main characters. The animation was on point. The music was on point. Everything about the first episode back for the Bleach anime was literally spectacular. It was on point. It was literally perfect. They did literally everything that they needed to do in order for the return for a show that hasn't been around for over 10 years. They did everything that they needed to do, and the first episode literally just shows that off with introducing us to two random Shinigami, you know, Soul Reapers who are just there for the sake of it, but they get attacked by a whole bunch of hollows, and then our main cast ends up showing up. We see Orihime, you know, which matters to a whole bunch of people who really wanted to see their waifu come back. Chad shows up and I think murders a whole building of people, or what the fuck? Uryu shows up like he's a fucking character from Yuri on Ice, and then Ichigo takes the whole fucking spotlight for himself, right around like the midpoint of the first half, where he pulls out his Bankai for literally no reason. Right? It's just a whole bunch of lowly hollows that he can handle by himself. He doesn't need to pull out Bankai, but he does, and he does it in the best way possible. And then he does his Getsuga Tensho, which looked fantastic and was amazing, and it was hype as fuck. And then the whole rest of the episode continues on further with furthering the story and what's going on, and the whole plot of what's going on with the Soul Reapers and the Quincy's. Yuha is coming back. He has a whole bunch of other Quincy's coming around and, you know, messing around with the Soul Reapers. And something happened to the Soul Reapers and their Bankais. It seems that the Quincy's were able to do something with their Bankais to where they can't use them, and that's because it's setting up the fact that the Quincy's are able to seal away the Soul Reapers' Bankais, save for except Ichigo, because Ichigo is just always a special exception because he's the main character. Everything that the episode needed to do in order to come back with the 1,000-Year Blood War and finally animate something that's been around for so long, since 10 years ago when it was never concluded. The episode just did everything that it needed and wanted to do, and it just did so in the best way possible. It got fans super happy and super excited and super hyped that Bleach is finally back. Bleach is back, and people are finally ready to see more. And after I was done watching it, you know, initially I didn't really think too much of it. I was just like, wow, that was a really, really great episode. But the days that passed on further as like the week was going on by, I kept thinking about it more and more, and I started rewatching the episode a little bit more, and I was like, man, this is literally like the perfect episode back for Bleach, and I can't think of any other better way that they could have done it. I think Monday is when the episodes are coming out, which is cool. You know, it's in between the My Hero Academia stuff and the Boruto stuff that I'm doing on the channel. As well as, I think, with Chainsaw Man, because Chainsaw Man, the anime, came out, as well as Mob Psycho 100. So whenever Mob Psycho 100 comes out, or is finished, I'm gonna have to make a video about that. I'm thinking about maybe watching Chainsaw Man, but I am also thinking about watching a couple other stuff. I'm thinking about maybe starting One Piece and getting into that. But I really just wanted to make this video really quick because I've just been thinking about this episode for Bleach and just thinking about how It was just so good, so well directed, so meticulously put together in the best way possible with, again, the animation, the music. It was fantastic. You know, the studio, I think it's Studio Period who's animating the Bleach Thousand Year Blood War arc. They're at the top of their game, right? They got like all of their talent behind the show, and it's, you know, I think it's going to be something else, right? As someone who's, you know, relatively new to Bleach, really, I'm like a relatively new Bleach fan. I couldn't have asked for a better episode, and I'm really excited to see what's left in store for the Thousand Year Blood War. I hope that there's some pretty exciting stuff, and considering what a buddy of mine who has read the manga for Bleach, considering what some of the things that he tells me, and some of the stuff that I'm supposed to have in mind when going into it, it's gonna be pretty exciting. So to finally see all of this animated, for Bleach fans especially, it's gonna be something special, and I'm excited to see where else the show takes us with the characters. You know, as someone like me who's still relatively new into Bleach and only recently just caught up with the entire series like a week or two ago. So yeah, I really just wanted to make a video, you know, talking about the first episode. And, you know, I know it's a little late, I'm a little behind on this, but I really needed the episode to sit with me for way longer than other people. And now that it has, I just really want to talk about it for a video really quick. And something else to talk about besides, you know, some of the other videos I've been posting recently. So let me know if you want to see other videos just like this in the comments. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. If you liked the video, be sure to hit a like. If you want to see more, be sure to subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. I'm out. Peace.